So what's good, homies? It's your man, Dr. BOA. As men becoming the most alpha version of ourselves, we want to develop a life that we love. We want to love the way we make money. Even if we don't make all the money in the world, we want to love what we do to make money. We want to only have people around us who enhance our environment and don't take away from our peace of mind or our overall joy. We want to give back in the way we want to give back to our community or to the less fortunate. We want to develop the relationship with God that we need to have, not based on what some church says or some pastor or some deacon or some prophetess or whoever. But the one thing we tend to compromise on is the women in our lives. And I tell you men like this, it doesn't benefit you or anyone around you for you to make that compromise. Because that woman is going to play a position in your life. We as men don't enter into relationships with women. We allow a woman to come into a position in our lives. This whole relationship thing, if you notice, relationships is not even a biblical term. It was never used. We don't have relationships with women. We are men and we put women in a certain position in our lives. That's it. We're not going to label it relationship. We're not going to label it, situationship. We're not going to label it, friends with benefits. We're not going to label it anything because labels include women on an equal level, on an equal playing field. And we're not going to do that in our lives because we built this life without the woman. And so when a woman comes along, you have to make damn sure that that woman fits in your life to a T. And every little area she doesn't fit in, it's not going to be perfect initially, but she should fit in a bunch of areas where it only leaves a few that she's got to work on. And she should spend every day of her life working on those areas. I just told my little shorty that, man, listen, all you have to do, your job is to make sure that you improve daily in the areas that you need to improve in. That's the only way you're going to get rewarded. That's the only way you're going to reap the benefit of being with me. Yeah, you're going to be with me regardless, but you're not going to be rewarded. You're not going to get any of the trinkets and treasures that might be available to you if you don't earn them. This is what you must do. Because if you don't make a woman earn everything she gets, she's not going to earn anything. And you're going to end up settling for a woman who's below your standard. And I say to you, men, why would any of you do that? Why would any of you accept a woman like Saweetie? Quavo's worth millions of dollars, tens of millions. And here he is selling for the same type of drama that broke dudes get. Because you can have money in your bank account, but you got to be rich up here. You got to be wealthy up here. You got to be wealthy in here. All the money in the world isn't going to change your mindset about yourself. And you're going to be a rich man who still takes foolishness off a woman. Now let's take Jeff Bezos for a matter. He's a whole lot richer, but Jeff Bezos realized he didn't want his wife anymore, gave her enough money to make her go on her way, and now he's living his best life. You have to be ready to let a woman go at the first sign that she is not going to be willing to do the work that makes her fit into your life. You have to let her go. And the problem with the majority of men in this society is you can't let women go. You refuse to let them go. You absolutely refuse to let women go. You let a woman say what she want to say. You let her do what she want to do. And then you listen to a society that tells you, well, you can't control the woman. The woman is her own entity. Yeah, she's her own entity until she comes into your life. Because here's the thing about being your own entity. You can be your own entity in your own world. Once you come into my world, you're not your own entity. You're my entity. Everything in my world belongs to me. And that's the mindset you have to have. If you let a woman into your world that you built, believe me, she knows the value of being in that world. And what you have to do as a man is make sure that you remember the value of being in that world. Because it's very easy for us as men to start to try to be so humble that we forget that small bit of cockiness that's necessary. You didn't become successful by being humble. No man who's 100% humble every day of his life has become successful. Success comes after you. Humbleness comes after success. If you're hungry, it's hard to be hungry and humble at the same time. It's just as hard to be hungry and humble at the same time as it is to be fat and fit at the same time. You men must understand that we have to do everything that we need to do, man, in order to build ourselves into the best version of ourselves. And then we must protect that at all costs. We must protect our lives with our lives. I say that again. We must protect our lives with our lives. And too many of you men are willing to let a woman come into your life and change everything. If a woman come into my life, man, she gonna do what I tell her to do. Because this is my life. Everything in my life, I control it. Why am I gonna let her come in and suddenly be the first thing? I don't even know her. How am I gonna let her come in and suddenly be the thing that control? Look at all the things that have been in your life for years. Look at all the people that have been in your life for years. You got people that were in the world when you were born. Do you let them come into your life and have control? No. And you know them better than you know her. How you gonna let some woman come into your life and control anything? Hell, she can't control things in her own life. Get to know a woman. Even that woman you see that got a nice car, nice crib, nice clothes, look like she got a little money in the bank account. Get to know that woman and realize, man, that woman in debt over her head. Get to realize that woman, man, and realize, man, that her family running her ragged, begging all the time. Get to know that woman and realize the things she went through, the traumatic experiences she had as a child, man, that influenced her so much now that she needs psychotropics. All you got to do is get to know the woman. The problem is, you men don't get to know the woman. You men give the woman everything before you make her earn it. If you make a woman earn everything, you get to know if she fits into your life for long term without giving her everything as if she does already. Make her earn everything. She's not going to have a problem because women only respect what they love. Women only value what they love. If she doesn't value it, it's because she doesn't love it. If she doesn't love it, rather, it's because she doesn't value it. Women do not value things that they don't work for. She has to work for it in order to value it. That's just the way it is. That's why they're so big on education. They're so big on education because they got to go to school one year. Then they got to go to school the next year. Then they might have to get a job while they're in school. Then they might mess around and have a child while they're in school. And now they got to take care of a child. They got to go to work and they got to have a job. And they don't make a whole lot of money at their job. And then when they finally get that degree, it's the greatest accomplishment they've ever had in their lives. Because I'm going to tell y'all something. If you take out entertainers, because even athletes have to go to school to become professional, I want you to think about this. They don't have to, but that's the route that's widely accepted. When you think about this, you find a woman who doesn't have an education and her value is always on her body. Women only have two forms of value in this particular society: their education and their sexuality. And sensuality makes it even better. Now, when you think about these things, you have to ask yourself, why would we, as men, overvalue her when she can't even overvalue herself? And here's the crazy thing. The woman with the most sexual value has almost no intellectual value. And vice versa. The woman who has high intellectual value has almost no sexual value. The girls in college who were really, really out there and didn't finish, those are the girls with the high body value. You understand? You got book value and body value. The girls who went to school and got 1 degree and got 2 degrees, got 3 degrees, they have very low body value. They're never going to be any man's best sexual experience. That's just the way it is, man. This isn't a knock on these women, because we don't knock women in the alpha sphere. The women who need to be knocked, we leave those to the less alpha men who want to talk about those women all the time. We don't talk about those women because we don't deal with those women. We don't deal with women who fight in public. We don't deal with women who have these type of issues. We don't deal with women who go to jail. We don't deal with women who've been to prison. We don't deal with women who carry guns. We don't deal with women who just are all out there. We don't deal with women with tattoos all over their body. We don't deal with women who have had so much they don't know how they real hair look. We don't deal with those women, so we don't talk about those women. We don't deal with a lot of women at all. Why? Not because we can't get a lot of women, because there aren't a lot of women who meet our standard. And unlike many men in the alpha sphere, we're not going to compromise our standard just to say we got a woman, or just to say we got a lot of women. Oh, boy, I get a lot of women. I bet ain't none of them high quality. If you got a lot of women, the majority of them low quality, if not all of them. There ain't enough high quality women to go around for every man, for any man to say he got a bunch of high quality women. You lying to yourself. You lying. And here's the thing. What does it say about you that you feel the need to have all of those low quality women around you? It says more about how you feel about yourself than how you feel about those women. Because see, a lot of men feel so lowly about themselves that a bunch of those low quality women make them feel better about themselves. Because those men deep down inside know that there's no high quality women that they could get. And here's the thing, they don't want a high quality woman. Because for a low quality man, you know what a high quality woman does? It makes them feel even worse about their own low quality. That's what it does. And the truth of the matter is this. We can talk a lot about a bunch of things, but the one thing we cannot ever say is that a man who has compromised his values for a particular woman is in the driver's seat in his life, is in the driver's seat in his world. That man is a passenger, and that woman is the driver. And we all know women can't drive that well. Never compromise your standards and settle for a woman who is below your standard. You can't win that way. And as you become the most alpha version of yourself, you get addicted to winning, baby. Y'all comment down below and let me know what you think about this topic, man. I look forward to hearing what you men have to say. I'm out.